excellent world building with the set dressing, the costuming, the location scouting, and commitment to the time period. It made me fully immerse into the story and gave a sense of whimsy to it as well. I thought the cinematography was stunning. So many shots that the creative team should be thrilled about. Each shot just seemed to be brimming with a magic and a childlike wonder. Some shots looking like they could be illustrations in a storybook, especially those glorious nighttime scenes or the sunset, sunrise scenes and the fireflies in the dark. Especially the times at Sophia's cabin as well. Just naming off 90% of the movie. A really touching story full of whimsy, but really deeply rooted in love, which grounds it and makes it a timeless feeling story.
The setup of the relationship between Sophia and her father and the complex relationship with Sophia and her mother makes losing her father all the more tragic. In this piece, the insects serve as guides and they serve as foreshadow of a lot is what is to come. Like when the mind collapses, you see the issue with the earth with the insects first, or even when the praying mantis tells her to look into the telescope, it seems as throughout the whole piece they are guiding her to her father. The scene where she's expressing her frustration, tearing down her drawn photos, we really feel her pain. And this is her way of saying she misses her dad and it's finally comes to the realization that he is gone. And she knows she can't be with him anymore. And it also speaks to how children come to terms with grief. I feel like the mission to find her father for her was something to keep holding on to, the idea that he's still here. And when that mission and all those things that her and her father had imagined as far as getting to the moon did not actually come to fruition, she had to face that reality. And in that moment, the tearing down of the photos was just a great visual representation of her dealing with her grief. And then we have the heartbreaking scene that happens right after when her mother finally finds her and they kind of grieve together. And it's beautiful.
Production and design and the costume design in particular was quite impressive, both in sort of the authenticity of the environment and of the type of characters that would be in this place. But I thought just the sense of mood and scale really worked well and gave the piece a really great sense of sort of stylistic and creative direction. I thought that was consistent throughout the piece. I thought that almost universally across the cast, it was quite well acted as well. There was a really natural dynamic between almost all the characters, and I thought Sophia gave the piece a great sense of heart and gave the piece a sort of consistent sense of wonder around the entire concept, around the experience between being human and dealing with the cosmos. I thought there was a sort of spiritual undercurrent within it, combined with nature and spirituality that I thought worked well in a sort of very grounded and accessible way. I thought the piece sort of had a very general audience approach and a sort of PG-13 conceit that, or even a PG-rated conceit that I thought worked well, especially backed up by the musical choices where I thought really worked well on sort of giving the piece a sense of wonder and style that I thought matched the other themes.
All of your actors were absolutely amazing. But the relationship between the daughter and the father, you really felt a connection there. You really saw this genuineness, affection for each other. And I loved that. I loved the fact that it was a period piece. And you guys made it so believable that it was a period piece. The sets, the costumes, everything, the way that people were talking, the things that they were using, it was perfect. How you guys told the story, the way that you built it up, it kind of made it relatable with the bullies that were bullying her at school and things like that. I just really enjoyed watching this.
Just loved the yellow dress on the adult woman, and then also the clothing on the little girl. All of the clothing throughout was just so realistic looking to me and great. I mean, I'm not, an 1850 expert, so I wasn't, looking deep for every little detail. From what I saw, I thought it looked really great and legit. Beautiful location and landscape. I wrote down, reminds me of Little House on the Prairie, because it did have that feel for me. Great fireflies effect. I thought that was really cool. Lovely music throughout, nice sound. Such a touching but sad story, but really creative. And it really made me feel that childlike wonder and belief when you have a belief in something that seems magical and surreal.
The bond between a father and daughter because of the moon, and then the dad dying, and a kid knowing mom doesn't understand and mom wants her to understand because she's doing things that dad's interested in instead of things that might be typically thought of as girly. The story was really, really well written. The acting was phenomenal. I loved it. I had to blink back tears several times. It was something that really captured your attention because of just the close bond, and you could almost feel the bond through the screen, which made the acting outstanding.
It's primarily a drama, but it does have marks of science fiction in it with the flies all forming a ladder and things like that, and looking in the telescope and all that. So it's a very interesting hybrid story. It's very original. I haven't seen anything like this. So great job on that. So it's a nice script, and the actors all did a great job. Everybody, the little girl was wonderful, especially. It had a nice meaning, of acceptance.